Alright, YouTube, I'm about to do a review right here of the movie Pearl. Listen, if you haven't seen this movie, in my opinion, I think she deserves an Oscar. But they're not going to give it to her because this movie is a horror movie. Very rarely, I don't think I've even ever seen a horror movie nominated at the Oscars, especially for a leading actress role. Leading actor role, however you want to say it. I don't think they're going to give it to her. Highly doubt it. Tell me if you've ever seen a horror movie nominated at the Oscars, especially for a lead role. That is how intense her performance was on this movie, Pearl. She's portraying the younger version of the older woman on X. This is going to be a trilogy. I think X as an overall movie might be more quote unquote entertaining, but as a movie where the character, how intense the character is, this role is ridiculously high at a level of intensity. The way her crying and her emotions are on certain scenes when they don't get her for the role of dancing and she wants to really be a dancer at that time. They're in the 1918s going through the pandemic of the flu. Her dad is all fucked up. Her mom is trying to basically be a mother for her husband instead of being a wife, and she's getting mad about it as well. So the way she portrays it as a daughter that wants to leave the farm, wants to get this dancing role, wants to be somebody else, wants to get more popular, quote unquote. Very intense the way she starts crying when they don't get her for the dancing role at this church audition, and the way she's actually crying at the end. Her monologue at the end is insane. The way they focus on her face, she says everything so clearly with that intense emotion, and they just zoom in on her face. This is a perfect role in my opinion. Seriously, it's insane how overall the drama, you notice it, especially towards the end when he comes back and he sees all the dead bodies of the mother and the father, and the smile that she keeps and the way they start closing in, but they leave her smiling like that and then she starts crying. That is another level of intensity right there. To act that way was crazy. I heard people saying that this movie, if she wasn't in the role the way she did it that well, would be a basic movie. I think I understand where they're coming from because, again, my main focus is talking about her performance. And having said that, I think the mother did a great performance too, but I understand that this might seem like a basic movie theme, but I think it's on purpose because her role is so important in focusing on what she's going through. This is how she ends up accepting the fact, I'm going to have to stay in the farm. I'm going to have to live this life. My mother was right. I'm not a dancer. They said no to me. I killed her because accidentally on the fire scene, unfortunately, and then I was trying to tell her I'm going to be somebody. I was going to accomplish this, but I was rejected, and then she was right. They try to go into the psychological level of what's going on with her. Why is she like this? Her mother said even that she's always been like this. She's had this aggressive nature inside of her. So they're trying to do this prequel, the history of how the old lady in X turns out to be this way. I think she did a great role. I think her role here, the younger woman, was even better than her role as Maxxxiane in X. Interesting the way they incorporated a dance. She met with the guy in the film. He was creeped out when he realized she doesn't have a dog because she forgot she lied about it. And then she was saying something else. We don't have a dog. Then he's like, okay, yeah, something's wrong here. Your dad doesn't look right. Where's your mother? You said you had a dog and now you don't have a dog, and I keep hearing something in the basement. I'm out. And that's when she gets very mad. Like, how did you go cold on me? I'm telling you, they should give the Oscar to this role. But they're not going to give it to her because it's a horror movie. And Oscars don't nominate horror movies, and I understand this is actually more, when it comes to this is more of an artistic type of horror. You could understand that the scenery was very vibrant compared to the X movie, which was darker. This was much more vibrant. Not what you would be accustomed to seeing on horror movies today. So maybe it's because of the time setting. They're trying to incorporate what horror movies some might have done previously. But very vibrant while this horror stuff is happening. So it's interesting, the contrast right there. I think this is a great movie. I think this is not for everybody to watch though, because some might say, these scenes, they're like basic horror scenes. But it's eerie and it gets intense because of the performance. I keep hearing some people say basic stuff, but she makes it seem very eerie, very intense. And if you're not going to like this emotional, sad, quote-unquote horror, it's probably not going to be for you, so don't watch it. But if you're interested, watch it. I would give it like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. I think X might be more entertaining overall, but this is more intense for her role. I want to see what's going to happen with the other one. Let's see. Peace.